Anemones, here we go. So they have been soaking for 48 hours. And do you remember? They were like hard little pebbles. What is that? How has it grown like that? What does that look like? What does it look like?
They?
Yeah.
You get banned from Instagram if I say it.
Okay, just say, give me a clue.
Begins with P.
Okay, yeah, I think we're thinking of the same thing. So let's go and weight these up. Anyway, I have got no space. Of course I haven't. I've got no space for any cell trays. So my plan with my anemone corms is I'm going to wake them up in the tub. And then once they start waking up, then I can worry about moving them. Oh, I was meant to thin these. Oh, they've started growing new leaves. You know, the slugs ate them. They're starting to grow new leaves. Okay, that really has made me happy. That's great. So that was purple pickety. Then this was the tray of giant imperial. Yikes, that is loads. They need doing ASAP. Oh, more layer, that's good. Loads more layer. Oh, I am so pleased about that. I was worrying I wasn't going to have many, but that is really good. So they definitely need thinning out as well. Okay, basically, Sophie, you need... Oh, Nigella's coming! I can see you. This is like actual sounds that I make when I see things growing. Like, look at that. And you see the tiniest bit of green, and it's the most exciting thing ever. Yeah, if this isn't a sign I need to get my other greenhouse up, then I don't know what is. We are going to fill this pot without any drainage holes with compost. I say fill, not totally fill. And again, this is just space saving for the waking up, and then once they start to shoot I can move them, because I just do not have the space to be doing this. So in it's quite tricky to tell with anemones when they're all wet and soggy which way to put them, but you can kind of see roots. Oh, you can kind of see on some of them hairy roots. So as always, it's like kind of hairy roots down, but the shape of them's all really different. It really doesn't matter. Kind of just get them in. You want to like press them into the compost so they've got really good contact with the soil. This compost is pretty moist, so I'm not going to water it again. But if it does need a bit of a top up, then I'll probably just give it a mist. But obviously this hasn't got drainage holes, so I don't want to be getting it too wet. And then I'm going to sprinkle some compost over the top, just like a little blanket, similar to the ranunculus, not too deep. I want to really be able to see when they kind of start to shoot. These totally can be done direct in your borders, but these are all blue and I don't know where I want blue anemones, so that's why I'm starting them now. Can move them at another time. So that is them done. They're just going to go on the shelf. So that is another job done. See, all these little jobs are adding up. You know, they are all becoming part of what I need to do, really. I'm really thinking maybe I'll just do those larkspur. It's a mix of compost with perlite to try and help the drainage and stop it being a soggy mess. Okay, so as always, when you're thinning out, I just use a pen to push a hole all the way to the bottom of the cell. Sort of give it a wiggle. Larkspur's roots can get really big quite quickly, and often you're going to have to be spiraling those roots in. Maybe not quite for these ones yet because they are only a week or so, but yeah, get nice and deep. Oh, and it also helps you to see any lumps like that need breaking up. So these are your larkspur. Remember, packets tell you that larkspur don't like being handled, but this is always what I do. I thin them out when they're at one pair of leaves and they will be absolutely fine. So you kind of want to give things a bit of a wiggle to make sure they are loose, but There are so many seeds in here. I don't want to disturb too much because there's loads more germinating. You'll feel if it's loose enough. So grab it by a pair of leaves, give it a little tug. Look at that. Really good root in the hole, and then gently push in the compost, and you can bury a bit of its neck. That's absolutely fine. And that is one done. Then again, give it a wiggle. Is it loose enough? Yep. Perfect. You can shake off a bit of that if you need. Then in it goes, and gently firming around the neck, and repeat 1,000,000 times. Now with larkspur, and I talk about this a lot over autumn because they are my absolute favourite, I do a monthly sowing of these all the way until February. That way I have a really good succession of flowers from like June all the way until, I mean, I've got some that have just finished flowering. So come the spring, you'll have a few different sizes of larkspur to plant out. These will be the biggest, these will flower first, and so on. The next batch will be slightly smaller and more flower slightly later. So when I'm doing the planting, I mix up what I plant. So I might plant a September sown with a November sown with a January sown. So I've got 3 different stages of larkspur going on. It just works really well for me, and it means you haven't got everything all at once. Just helps to kind of extend your flowering period of the things that you love. Sometimes I feel like I have so many garden jobs to do that I put off coming to the greenhouse because I'm like, oh god, there's just so much to do. But actually, if you kind of don't set yourself too big of goals, I literally only had planned to plant up my anemone corms, and then once I was out here with a cup of tea and the kids are okay and the dinner's on, I'm kind of like, actually I'm going to do one more job. And then before you know it, by the end of the week, all these little jobs just make such a difference, and actually you feel like you're really behind. But then, you know, if you do one of these jobs a day, that's 5 little jobs done in a week, and it really helps to keep on top of things. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and you've got loads to do, try not to focus on the loads, just focus on one small job at a time. On my podcast that I went on today, we were talking a lot about gardening for mental health and how important it is to, well, not just my well-being, but people's well-being in general. And I think this right here is just what helps me to keep balanced and to keep well. And no matter what a terrible day I might have had or what horrible things are going on in my life, there's something about just doing like a mindful activity like this, thinning out seedlings, that is just really calming, and nothing else matters, and you just focus on what you're doing, and you definitely walk away from an activity like this just feeling like a weight has been lifted and just a little bit re-energized. And I think especially life as a mum can be suffocating sometimes, and my house full of boys is sometimes quite chaotic. Not the boys at all, they're really good boys, but just life, you know, whether it's homework, whether it's cooking, whether it's all running around for all the after school clubs. Life is busy, and the complete contrast to busy mum life is quiet gardening life. And I just think the two just sit perfectly together. And yeah, it's just the little things like this that give you a boost, bring you back down and help you to prepare for basically what's coming next. So there we have it, a whole tray of larkspur thinned out, which is amazing. I've still got more in there, but I haven't got another tray ready. So one tray, let's just do one tray at a time. So I'm pleased that one tray is done. That is great. The problem I'm going to have with that one tray is slugs. So I need to find a chicken packet to put on the top. Something that I keep forgetting to do an update on. Do you remember, was it maybe about this time last year that I planted loads of bamboo in containers from Scottish bamboo? And I've been meaning to show you what they're like, but they are looking amazing. All of this bamboo is clump forming, and I've got it in these really big containers because basically our goal was to have some really nice evergreen foliage here all the time. As you know, Ben loves bamboo, so yeah, we have got just the perfect varieties to go in this container, and they're really thickening up and looking great. I've also got one down here in a pot, just a 30cm pot, but I love the movement that it gives, and yeah, I love the fact that it's evergreen. I just think they are a really good addition to not only any like container garden, but just your garden, and they are true clump forming. Drop them a message if you've got any questions about adding bamboo to your garden, because she is so knowledgeable and can help you out. There we have it. I even managed a bucket full of deadheads. Very productive. Don't know what's come over me. I did just spot, oh yeah, there, that one. I still can't remember the name of that variety, and I haven't even been through my inbox for a few days because life's just been too busy, so somebody might have told me, but I will tell you the variety if it comes to me. But yeah, that's not bad. A good deadheading session, and yeah, I'm still just in awe of how lovely this autumn container garden looks. It's just so beautiful. I think that when you are planning your garden, there is definitely more variety when your colour palette is mixed like this for autumn interest. I do definitely think that if you are trying to stick to the romantic colours, like your pinks and whites, it's definitely more of a challenge to have so much variety that looks amazing late on in the season. And I do just love all of the different colours. They're just, yeah, amazing. So yeah, just I actually think I'd just like to sit out here all afternoon. Honestly, I was on a roll. Deadheading done. I've planted a load of the lollipop primula in this planter here. I dug up one of the impatiens and I put it in a pretty pot. That looks like it would be good for my bathroom. And then, so I've left the soggy, rubbish looking ones. I will plant those. And then I have got some of the foxgloves in the border that lovely Sue sent me. So they are now in the ground. I'm not going to do the sweet rocket until I've done a bit of tidying up here. And now I know that's a Canterbury bell, I have spied other Canterbury bells in the border. So that is one at the front. So I'm guessing these won't flower till next year now, but I need to have a real big move around with Canterbury bells. I just found another one here as well. That looks like that must be one as well. So if that's going to flower next year, I need to make sure that they are at the back, because that is the most ridiculous place for a Canterbury bell to have grown / like fallen. But yeah, these borders just look sad because I did all that lifting and dividing, like that Thalictrum. But I had to divide it, and I've replanted lots, and yeah, there's lots of perennials now underground in all of these bare spots, which is a little bit sad. And then this is looking very neat and bare, but I'm so pleased that I got all that done before the weather got really bad. So that's good. That's good to know. That's all my Chelsea stuff in, and in here as well. I need to work on this bit, but I haven't got time to do that this week. But yeah, so all of that section's done. This section will be next. Then definitely a weekend job to get the other greenhouse up, for sure, because I can't cope with one. Anyway, in for another cup of tea, I think.